Hello, cello people. Mr. Fitz here, and I'm so glad that you're playing the cello. It is a beautiful sounding string instrument. And so this video is about how to set up your cello to play it correctly, okay? And this is found in your book also on page 3. But I'm going to go through the steps with you, all right? Just so that you can see what they're talking about, because sometimes the diagrams, maybe are not totally clear. In any case, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your cello out of the case. Now the book says to set your bow aside in a safe place. As long as it's still in the case and the case is safe, not going to get stepped on, that's perfectly fine. That's probably the safest place for it, okay? So it also says to identify the parts of your cello. I'm not going to go through that right now. That's something that you can do on your own when you have time. But for right now, we're just going to talk about a couple of key things. All right, so I'm going to pick up my cello here. And as you can see here, this is the end pin. When you have it in the case, it's all the way in, because obviously otherwise you'd be stabbing people as you walked around with it. But the first step is to loosen the little adjusting screw on the bottom, or tightening and loosening screw. You turn it counterclockwise, just a turn or so, and then this should move, all right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to adjust it out so that when you stand up, the scroll of the cello, which is the thing that looks like a scroll, I'll show you in a second, is sort of near your nose, all right? So I'm going to guesstimate where mine is going to be. But this is going to be trial and error for you guys, all right? So what you do then is you put the cello down and you stand up, okay? And that's a little bit low for me. It's just a little bit under my nose, so I'm going to make it a little teeny bit longer. All right, just a teeny bit, and this should do the trick. Let's see how this comes out now. All right, so I'd say that's pretty much by my nose. Maybe a little bit low, but that's okay, all right? As long as it's in the ballpark, you're going to be good. Now, the next step, you're going to sit down, and you want to sit on the edge of the chair. You don't want to sit back, lean back. And by the way, the type of chair you use is important. You don't want to use a cushy chair, or certainly not an easy chair. You don't want to be sitting on the edge of your bed. It's important that you use like a kitchen chair or a desk chair, something without arms that is going to be kind of sturdy, okay? And you want to sit, as the picture shows in the book, you want to sit with your feet flat on the floor, and that you have your back away from the back of the chair, okay? So the next step then is to hold the cello out at arm's length. Let me just angle this a little bit here. You're gonna put your hand on the shoulder of the cello right here. And you're gonna put it right between your feet, so you may not see me here. Let me see if I'll move this over a little bit. There we go. All right, and then what you're gonna do, since it's at arm length and standing straight up and down, then what you'll do is you'll bring it back towards you on your left side, and then let it rest against your chest. And the lower part, let me just angle this a little bit for you so you can see, hopefully hopefully the camera won't fall. So this goes between your knees, but it's resting here against your chest. The C peg, which is this one here, and by the way, you don't want to ever turn these pegs because you can snap strings. I'll always tune your cello for you if you need it. All right, so this is just going to go next to your head, sort of behind your ear, okay? And there you have it. So as you can see, look, no hands. My cello is resting comfortably. It's got, my knees have got it here, my chest has it here. And now that leaves my hands free to play the instrument, okay? And I'm just gonna show you a couple of the notes that we have, all right? So starting from the highest note, that's our A string. That's our D string, that's going one lower. That's our G string, and that's our C string. Isn't that a beautiful sound? Now, the two notes that you're going to start out with are A and D. And specifically, they start with D, which is the second to highest string. Now, when you play, what you do is you just take your hand and put your thumb against the fingerboard here, all right? And then you just draw your finger across the string. I hope you can see that like that. And it's okay if your finger hits the next string. See how I'm doing that? Because it's stopping there. I don't have to pick it up like that or anything, just like draw it across. All right, so that's my D. And then same thing with my A. I'm just going to angle a little so you can see this. All right, so there's your notes D and A. And those are the notes that you'll be playing on pages 4 and 5. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful. And remember, cello is awesome. And remember to practice every day. All right, have a good day. Bye.